happy hello to you friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Arty and I am a mixed media artist who likes to tell stories and make goofy characters. Today I thought I'd actually give you some advice on mixed media, or at least how I do mixed media. There are many ways to do it, and if you're starting out, just the best thing to do is to just get in there and start experimenting. But I know that's very scary sometimes, so I thought I'd give you some pointers on how to get started. Rather on topic, the art I'm making today is actually a mixed media illustration of one of my original characters, Moss, in the forest. I'll be using this work as a sort of example throughout the video. Okay, let's get started. So what exactly is mixed media? Well, it's simple really. It's just when you use more than one type of medium on an artwork or sketch or whatever it is you do. For example, drawing over the top of a paint like watercolor or gouache with a colored pencil. Or maybe just doing line art over the top of alcohol markers with a fine liner. That is also technically mixed media since it's more than one type of medium. Oh, and by the way, I feel like I should also mention this since I still get them confused and maybe some of you do too. Medium is a material used to make art, like paint for example. Media is basically the plural of medium, so the term mixed media literally means mixing multiple mediums together. Okay, back to it. In this piece I use several mediums. I start with a colored pencil sketch, then I block in the colors and do some shading with watercolor. Then I go over with more colored pencils to add in some texture and depth with like shadows and highlights. And finally, I went over the top of everything with a fine liner. So that's that's 3 mediums. But I easily could have done more. I could have added some gouache or maybe some oil pastels. There are so many options. So to get started with trying out mixed media, I would recommend just starting with 2 mediums, just to get used to it, try it out, and then go and add more media later. Okay, so get a base medium, then a different medium to throw over the top. A good base will be something that is flat. It doesn't have to have very much texture. This could be something like watercolor or maybe alcohol markers or water-based markers. Then the mediums that could be put on top can have some texture if you want. You could use oil pastels or colored pencils maybe. The reason why you would do them in this order is because if you put a textured medium down first, it will make it rather difficult to get any crisp lines or marks over the top. But then again, you might want this effect. In that case, go ahead. If I've learned anything from art school, it's that you learn the rules of art first, and then you figure out how you can break them. But you do have to know what the rules are. You can't break rules that you don't know exist. Does that make sense? I hope so. Anyway, moving back to mixed media. As I said, I did a watercolor base for my art in the video, and then I put pencil and fine liner over the top. See how I put the big flat colors down first? That's an example of what I was blabbering about. And then I put a textured medium like pencil over the top. I would like to say though that pencil kind of plays both sides. It's sometimes a flat medium, but sometimes a textured one. It really depends on how you use it and also what your canvas is. On some paper, like cold press watercolor paper, colored pencil is quite textured. But on smooth paper and things like wooden panels, it's a very smooth and flat medium. So play around with these different surfaces and techniques to see how you like to use colored pencils as a medium. I personally do both. Sometimes I like to have that textured look on rough paper, but other times I want that smooth finish on smooth paper or wood. Okay, I wanted to also talk about using pens and markers over the top of different mediums. I actually only learnt about this recently and I had never even considered it before, so I feel like I should play a part in spreading the knowledge. It's about clogging. No, not the shoe. Sorry, that was a bad joke. Sorry. What I mean is when using pens and some markers over the top of certain media, it may clog the nibs of the pens and markers. I don't personally own any acrylic markers except for a couple of Posca markers, but I've learnt that putting acrylic markers over certain media may clog the nib and you won't be able to use it very well anymore, or maybe not at all. Which of course would absolutely suck because acrylic markers aren't exactly cheap, and I wouldn't want that to happen to anyone. So avoid putting acrylic markers over the top of mediums like pastels, that includes oil and soft pastels. I wouldn't put them over the top of charcoal or anything else that is powdery. Actually, how about this? Let's just say that the general rule of thumb is that if you have to seal the medium with a spray to stop it from moving, smudging, or coming off, don't put acrylic markers on it. The same sort of thing goes for certain pens like ballpoint pens and gel pens, because the pastels or charcoal or whatever it is will come off and get stuck in the pen nib and in the little ball, and it's really hard to clean and you might just not be able to use it effectively anymore. So yeah, take care of your materials. But that being said, don't not use your materials. Like, don't be scared to use your pens and markers and brushes roughly or aggressively because of what I just said. You can't make good art if you don't use your materials. You need to use them. I hope that makes sense. Honestly, I don't know if it does. I just ramble in my own way of saying things. I hope that makes sense to you guys. If it doesn't, just tell me off in the comments. Yeah. So that's pretty much everything for this video. I do hope this helps you guys out, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you liked the finished piece. I'm really happy with it. I can totally see this being turned into a print or like maybe a postcard. If you want to learn more about Moss and the world he lives in, I'll link some of my world building and character videos down in the description for you, and there will also be a video you can watch at the end screen. Remember to like the video, it lets me know what kind of content I should keep making for you guys, and subscribe to the channel. I'm currently making a video a fortnight because I'm at university and it's really busy. But yeah, just subscribe. It's free and we have a good time over on my side. Come join us. And that is everything for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love every single one of you, whether you've been here since the start or if you've only just arrived. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I will see you all next time. Bye!